Hello, beautiful people. My name is Alex Catano. I am the host of Catanation Studios. But today I'll be here on YouTube sharing about one of my favorite experiences I had this year, WrestleMania 39. Growing up, I actually wasn't a big wrestling fan. I was actually more of a comics type of fan. I did play some of the video games growing up due to friends and cousins, but I really didn't get into it until one of my cousins introduced me to wrestling, which was WrestleMania 25 exact, where I got to witness Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, two of the greatest to ever do it. It was to this day my favorite match, and I just became an instant fan because of it. Obviously, wrestling scripted, wrestling fake, whatever you want to call it, but it is just the way the stories are told in a different style, and I just really enjoyed it so much, and it's one of my favorite things to watch nowadays. And because of it, I even said to myself, one of these days I will be at WrestleMania. Now, funny enough, I almost wanted to attend WrestleMania 31, but the tickets were super expensive. WrestleMania 31 took place in Santa Clara, California. I'm from San Diego, so I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot, but it was going to be super expensive, and I was only 16 at the time, so I'm like, I know I'm not going to be able to afford all that. However, back in 2020, right before the pandemic, we were told that WrestleMania 37 was supposed to take place in Los Angeles, but then it got cut off because of the pandemic, and I said, great, that was my one and only chance to go to WrestleMania. Then it was announced that in 2023, it was going to come back to LA. Sure enough, I got 4 tickets because it was a 2-night event, and I wasn't going to go alone. I ended up going with my mom, and she was so sweet about it. I know we were like finding out whether or not I should go. It was a wrestling show. Are you still into this stuff? But my mom eventually came. She was super supportive, and I gotta thank her for not only the ride but for sharing this experience with me because it was something unbelievable. From the entrances to the yelling, the screaming, singing along to people's music, it was just one of my favorite experiences of all time. And funny enough, if you actually watch Dominic Mysterio's entrance, you could kind of see me on the side. Man, it was just so cool to see all of my favorite wrestlers right now come in and compete for us and give us a spectacle of a show. Not only with the celebrity cameos, but even with the wrestling itself, they were just top notch. To me, the moment was seeing the story of the Bloodline, which was a group of heels led by the Anawahi family, who you may know from Yokozuna and The Rock and all that family. And now it's run by Roman Reigns, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and then hidden gem by the name of Sami Zayn, who has been trying to join the Bloodline. He ended up joining, and only to get betrayed because he did not want to beat up his best friend at the Royal Rumble, and it just led to this incredible story. And for the first time ever, the WWE Tag Team Championships were on the line when the Usos put him against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And to me, that was my WrestleMania main event. It was the best way to cap off an incredible story and just showcase how far we've come along in pro wrestling, where now we see the tag team belts on the line. And it just shows you what a great tag team division we had at the time, because earlier in the show we also had a fatal 4-way tag team match with 4 of the best current tag teams at the time have a spectacle of a show, and it was just amazing to watch. But to me, seeing Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, it actually even brought me to tears. Like, oh my God, he won! Oh, it was so beautiful, and it was just the perfect story. And that's what I love about stories, that they can tell you in different ways and aspects. And the rest of the show was really good, from Logan Paul and Seth Rollins. The cool entrances, people singing along, seeing Logan from up above was really cool. To me, the highlight was watching Rey Mysterio, the hometown hero, take on his son Dominic Mysterio, who has been built up as this incredible bad guy. Basically saying that his father wasn't there, wanting revenge on like all the times he was let down, and it was just a great story to tell. And it was just one of those things where like the wrestling and the story have to match to make this work, and it was just well put together, and I am so glad that I was able to witness it. Not only seeing a Rey Mysterio and Dominic match, the first one ever, but also getting a chance to see Rey Mysterio get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. That was truly amazing to be a part of it, and it was just I am beyond thankful for that. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, which was supposed to be the main event of night one, it just showed me how good these girls really are because they went on and had a banger of a match, and it was by far like the best women's match all year. Seeing Rhea Ripley cap off her moment and showing the world that she is here to stay and she is going to be the next top female wrestler of the decade is just very inspiring to be able to witness because the first time these two ever competed was during a empty arena pandemic WrestleMania, and now they're getting a proper match, and it was just a great story to tell. Seeing Rhea Ripley finally get her redemption and Charlotte, you know, laughing, but she still had an amazing time. But maybe this isn't the end. As of recording, there has only been two women's WrestleMania main events. The first one being Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte, and the second one being Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Maybe at a future WrestleMania, Rhea Ripley will be up in that category. For night two, it was just a great showing. Maybe not as strong as far as match quality goes, but it was still a lot of fun. We still had, to me, what was possibly the best match of the weekend. Maybe not the best moment like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but to me, the best wrestling match was Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre. Three heavyweights just fighting for the Intercontinental Championship. It was just so cool to see a different style. Just three big men just throwing each other around, having the time of their lives, having a kick-ass match. And it was just so great to witness all of these spots. And night two, I had a way much better seating than I did in night one. Night one was a great seating, but it was mainly focused on the entrance ramp, watching the people come in and out of the ring. This one had a better view of the ring and everything going around it. So that was more soothing for me. What wasn't soothing was one of the matches. While the entrances were top notch and fantastic to witness live, the match was hard to watch, but it was Edge and Finn Balor inside the Hell in a Cell. I've always wanted to watch a Hell in a Cell live, but then when you actually watch it, it's not as fun as it sounds because you kind of have to look around a cage, and then to top it off, people were trying to jump in and get a close-ups. There was a guy selling ice cream and beer, so it was just too many things going on at once, and I just couldn't really focus on the match. And then to top it off, Finn Balor gets a cut on his head, and it basically pauses the match for a couple minutes until they fix him up. And then the match continues and it picks back up. I did get a chance to watch it again on TV, and it was really good. One of my favorites growing up was Brock Lesnar. And even though I'm not a big fan of the match that he had with Omos, it was still fun to see him throw around a 7-foot giant, and more importantly, giving him the F5. That was a cool thing to witness. Somebody else that I was very excited to see was John Cena, and I was very much hoping that he would win this match. I've attended a couple other shows in the past, and never have I seen John Cena win a match. And this was going to be the time I was going to see him win, because there's no way he was going to lose to Austin Theory. Oh, wait, he did. Yeah, this match was a bit disappointing, but I mean, what can you do? John Cena is Hollywood. He's mainstream now, so he doesn't have the time to be here as much as we wish he was. But man, this was a huge letdown. This was a very disappointing match. And to top it off, Austin Theory really went nowhere. I mean, you fast forward now, but I want to now talk about Bianca Belair and Asuka. This was actually a match that I was looking forward to more than Charlotte and Rhea, just because these two are my favorite women wrestlers right now. With Asuka's new look, can she finally win a match at WrestleMania? And unfortunately, she doesn't. That is the sad part. But the story going around is that Bianca Belair is on the record of being the next and first undefeated woman. And if that's the case, all for it, because sometimes you just need to build up the women up even more, because if you cannot have Bianca Belair in the title picture. You can have her be like the special attraction match, like, oh, who's she gonna fight, and can that woman be Bianca Belair? Now it makes the women's division more exciting, and now you have more matches to get invested in. Because earlier on this show, you also had a Fatal 4-Way women's tag team match where it was just a bunch of women thrown together and just trying to see if they could work. The only credible team was the winners, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. But finally, the main event, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. And to a lot of people, this was a disappointment, not by the match quality. The match itself was fun, but the biggest story was, can Cody finish the story and win the belt that his father never could, while Roman Reigns is trying to get to 1,000 days as champion? And sure enough, Roman Reigns won. Now, you can argue that, and we were all upset, and I guess that was the purpose, to get us upset. But Roman Reigns did not beat Cody Rhodes clean. He had to use the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and even Paul Heyman to interfere and win this match for him. With the help of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn from Cody's side, it still wasn't good enough, and Cody ended up losing. However, looking back at what this year of professional wrestling was, I'm glad that Cody Rhodes lost. Because now we get to see Cody Rhodes kind of rebuild himself from the high up. Because in 2022, he really didn't do much. He was injured for most of it. And we didn't get to see the Cody Rhodes that we all wanted to see. So when he came back and won the Royal Rumble at number 30 of all places, it didn't feel right for him to automatically win, because people were either going to make him another champion. But in the looks of it, it looks like WWE is ready to make Cody Rhodes the face of this company. And that is what I'm very excited for. For years, we've been wanting, who's going to be the next John Cena? Who's going to be the next Stone Cold Steve Austin? Who's going to be the next Rock? And to everybody, it's very clear that it's going to be Cody Rhodes. Because this whole year, it was just a shot at redemption. Just, can he stay relevant? Can he be the top guy? Because even though Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes were on separate shows, it showed you who really was the star. You had champions like Seth Rollins, Gunther, the Judgment Day, and all people were talking about on Monday Night Raw was Cody Rhodes. And it showed you, yeah, this is the top guy, and now he is truly ready to beat Roman Reigns in that upcoming rematch that we will probably get at WrestleMania 40. It's kind of like Star Wars. In The Empire Strikes Back, Luke Skywalker was ready to take on Darth Vader in his mind. However, we all knew there's no way he is ready to take on someone as strong and as powerful as Darth Vader. So when he loses, when he eventually fights him again, now it's a more of a redemption arc. Can he win? Can he beat Darth Vader this time around? It's very poetic, and that is why I love wrestling. When it tells stories like this, when it shows you the bigger picture. And it just showed me a lot. And this show was just a lot of fun with a lot of great things to witness. Even though I was upset at the time that Cody didn't get to finish his story, I'm very excited for the generation that will be attending WrestleMania 40. Will they get to witness Cody finish the story? And that is a cool thing, because now, even though I saw it live, I was now more invested than ever to continue watching. And that is what the job of WrestleMania was. It needs to wrap up some stories and continue some moving forward. And this was an experience that I will never forget. One of my highlights of 2023. And just thank you again for watching, and we'll see you all next time.